Surpreet, so when did you take the ComIT course and what was it about?
I took the ComIT course in September 2020, and I took the React.js course. And I always wanted to learn React, so that worked out well.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Where are you working currently and what position are you in?
I'm working as a software developer with Northland.
So what made you interested taking the ComIT course with us?
Well, at the time I was applying for a lot of jobs. I was sending in those applications. I was looking for a permanent full-time job, and I remember a very close friend of my husband. He's a brother to me. He mentioned ComIT, and I think he stumbled upon something on LinkedIn, and so he mentioned that to me, and he said, they're offering this course in Saskatoon. So I looked it up and I read more about ComIT, and I came to know how they help you bridge that gap in employment. And um, and ComIT knows what the job market is like. They know what the companies out there are looking for, what's hot, what's selling, what's in demand. They know your local job market, and I think they analyze that and they offer that kind of courses. And I always wanted to learn React. Actually, I started learning React on my own before ComIT happened. I would do video tutorials, I would read stuff, but I think, well, each to their own. I can say that for myself, at least, that I find interactive sessions much more useful. I think I learn better that way because, you can ask your questions if you have any doubts and stuff. And so I thought this was a good opportunity, and I had the time. I thought might as well use it, and I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, that's good to hear. That's really good to hear that you enjoy the course and you kind of took initiative to look outside the course to do some research. So what previous experience did you have, like kind of in the IT sector, kind of broadly, just technology wise?
Yeah, I think work-wise, if I had to say, I was working with the same company, Northland, but it was a contract-based position. I worked with them for a few months on a project, and I learned a lot during that time. So I would say the learning curve was really good. Um, and I was working on few projects on the side for local businesses here in Saskatoon, and I was working with my husband on some of the projects that were based in BC, Vancouver, and stuff. So that's where I can say I learned some stuff.
That's good. That's good. And so would you say that after the ComIT course, you kind of took initiative and went outside of kind of our learning and looked up other programming languages to use, or did you kind of just stay with what you learned with our course?
Yeah, before ComIT, I think I was mainly focused on C Sharp, ASP.NET, and that kind of technology. But I got really interested in taking React because whenever I would, search for jobs, I came across a lot of jobs that required React. So that, like I mentioned, I tried to learn it on my own as well. So I think I really got interested into knowing more about it, and um, learning in detail. So I try to do some projects in React after that too, and I'm planning to do a project with Northland and using React as well.
That's great. That's great to hear. So since you didn't have quite a lot of experience with React, what were some of the challenges you faced while taking the React course with ComIT, and like how did you overcome these challenges?
Hmm. Um, well, I can't think of any challenges as such with the course itself. I think the course was very well organized. Mark, our instructor, did an amazing job, laying the structure of the course. I think he made sure that we understand what we're learning, why we're learning, and how to apply and implement that. I think he knows what to introduce when, and so that everybody's on the same page. And he went with that pace, and providing us reading material. He would let us know that, okay, you can read this part from this book, this section from that book, that part from that book. So we can prepare ourselves for the lecture. And I think that kind of stuff you don't get online, that kind of help, right? So that was good, and credit must be given where it's due. Let me think of any challenges that I faced. Yeah, I can say maybe when you're trying to learn a new technology, when you're trying to learn a new skill and you have a job, you have a family, you have other stuff to do, maybe it can get overwhelming and frustrating sometimes, but just hang in there and know that it's just for a short period of time, and all those little sacrifices that you make now are going to be rewarding later. It's going to be fruitful. I mean, I can say maybe have a steady partner. For me, I can say my husband was that partner for me, because he couldn't go to his lab and do the experiments, so he used that time to write his papers, got some published. And so when you have somebody who's going through the same kind of process, and it kind of motivates you, you have that kind of energy around you. So I think maybe find a study partner. And there's a lot of help available with ComIT, on Slack channels. You can post your questions in the help channel, stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's good to hear. I know it's kind of a struggle when you have a family and you're trying to do school as well.
yeah.
So since we're kind of at the end point of your journey with ComIT, what was kind of your job search like? What were some of the challenges you found you faced when doing your job search, and what were some of the things that you found like really helped you during this period?
Yeah, that one I can definitely say was challenging, because I think so whenever you apply for jobs, it's like a catch 22. You need, you need a lot of experience to apply for jobs, but you can't have that kind of experience without having a job, right? So I think my biggest challenge was writing a good resume and getting it there, because sometimes the skill, you have the skill, but it's hard to put it on a piece of paper, letting them know that you know all of this and how you know it. So that I think is a little bit challenging, but Noah helped me actually fix my resume. I think I still kind of lack at that part. I would say I still need to brush those skills, like, having a good resume. But other than that, knowing some of the things in detail, I think in depth is really important. I knew that I had my concepts like really clear to me. I knew I had a strong foundation in, let's say, object oriented programming and stuff like that. I'm really interested in data structures and algorithms, and I kind of put a lot of time in that. I'm still learning a lot, but so I think focus on what's your like focus on your good points, and whatever you need to learn more, you can always brush those skills.
So since we're still on that topic of job search, so like how did your previous work experience help inform your decision into going to the IT sector, and how did your previous work experience help you kind of make that jump into the IT sector?
Yeah, it really helped me actually, because I learned a lot during my graduation, and I think I was always reading stuff about it. I think when you have a strong foundation, you have your basic fundamentals clear. It does help you. It kind of gives you that jump start, and but it's never too late to start. Even if somebody from a non-IT background wants to learn programming, they still can. It's just that you have to put that effort now, and do your part. um but yeah, what was the second question?
It was just how your experiences kind of outside of the IT industry helped you kind of once you got into the IT industry.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I can say Canadian work experience definitely does have could help, because you kind of get to know what the work environment would look like, and how to approach people, that kind of stuff, I think.
So then kind of how would you tell me what the Canadian market looks like, and how is it kind of different to the market you had previously been in?
Well, I think I see the work environment a little bit different here. Other than that, I don't think there's lots of differences. But yeah, the work environment, I would say, I find a little different, which is good in a good way. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to hear. It's good It's good.
Yeah, it's
Um,
good. Yeah.
so what would you say to someone who is kind of looking at taking a ComIT course or a student who already is in one of our courses?
I would say practice a lot. Whatever you learn in every single lecture, just you have to get your hands dirty. You have to code and face those challenges, get those errors, and spend lots of hours on Stack Overflow, Google stuff. I don't know. I mean, it can be frustrating at times, but at the end, when you see that, when you see it working, it's another level of adrenaline rush. So I think just you have to do that. Definitely code a lot. What else? Yeah, I think what worked for me also, when I would revisit those lectures, and I would try to revise stuff every single time, almost every single time, I would learn something new that I had missed previously. So I think that can also help. Read stuff. If your instructor gives you reading material and mentions that you can read this before coming to the class, you can do that. That helps because it kind of prepares you, right? And it, because when you learn, when you're reading stuff and then you attend the lecture, and then you practice, it kind of stays with you forever. And whatever errors you see, then you start helping other students, fellow students who are facing similar errors, because you've already seen those kind of errors, right? And what else? I think help is available there with ComIT. ComIT is doing really great. Pablo is so awesome. He's been, he's a pro at this. He's been helping people overcome employment barriers. He's been doing this for almost 10 years now, I think. And there is so much help available. ComIT helps you with getting your resumes fixed, be it arranging guest speakers, be it uh, doing the mock interviews, or working on your soft skills. So I think the help is available, but you have to put in your effort and do your part.
All right, yeah, that's good to hear. I'm very happy that you had a good experience with ComIT, and I just want to thank you for kind of coming to this interview with us. It's going to help a lot of our students. So thank you a lot, Surpreet, and it was great talking to you.
Thanks for having me. Take care.